Hey there, welcome to the Mass Networking Show. My name is Matt Ward, and we will be right back with you in just 3 minutes. Welcome to this beautiful Monday morning. It's Monday, September 21st, 2020. My name is Matt Ward. I am one of the few admins here at the Mass Business Connections Group, and we're happy to have you here for another Mass Networking Show. We're going to talk to 3 awesome business owners today and dig into what it is they do, what they like and don't like about networking. And so you can connect more and more with people. Remember, networking has the word work in the middle of it. It takes a lot of work to get the referrals that you're looking for. And that's our goal here at Mass Business Connections, is to connect you up with other people so that you can take the next step in building a relationship to get more word-of-mouth referrals in your business. To start with that, we want to make sure that you're interactive with us on this Mass Networking show. And to do that, you need to authorize StreamYard for your Facebook profile so that when you make a comment, it will show with your beautiful face and your profile photo right there on the StreamYard thing. We can't show your photo and your comment unless you authorize StreamYard, because otherwise it'll look just goofy and we won't know who made the comment. So that said, we greatly appreciate your activity with us in the Facebook group, and we want to remind you to stay active with us to build relationships with other people. There's lots of opportunities to do networking. We have 2 networking events that happen every single week. The first one is Monday mornings at 8 a.m. The second one is Thursdays at 5 p.m., where we do breakout sessions in one-to-one environment. You can learn and meet new people and just really kind of start digging in on those relationships and kind of get going, trying to pick up the speed from COVID and what happened with that, and try and build relationships and get back to business and generate some income in our businesses that can make us actually, get back to making a living, And so, speaking of making a living, I'm going to bring in 3 awesome business professionals right now. We got Lisa Casillo, Scherrie Keating, and Kim Krumbiegel. I'm sure I mispronounced that, but we'll get to that in just a minute. How are you guys doing today?
Great. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So, as you can see, we have the all-female panel today, especially when I drop my. And we like to have a little fun. So, it was interesting that, for those that don't know, I started a business in 2019, and 11 months later, I sold it. It was a business that focused on the speaking industry, and I sold it to an organization, and it was a fun interaction. But one of the things that organization does is they help women speak more, and they talk about trying to eliminate manels, which are speaking panels full of only men. Well, look at that. We've kind of eliminated that in this situation. So we're happy to have you guys on. We're going to dig right in. We're going to start randomly with Kim. Hey, Kim, how are you doing?
Oh, hi. How's it going?
Good. Why don't you start off and tell everybody what you do, Kim?
So I'm a independent consultant with a company called Arbonne. They are a health and wellness company. They've been in business for 40 years, and they approach health and wellness with a holistic approach, where we set up a positive mindset, skin. And I learned about Arbonne. My Arbonne journey started with the nutrition line. I did a challenge, 30 Days to Healthy Living challenge, because I knew I was getting older. I needed to take better care of myself, and I wanted to improve my health and my eating habits. So I did the 30-day challenge, and I had great results. I have more energy now. I sleep better. And I just want to share that with other people, to have people be more proactive in their own health journey, and
productivity
learn
is a huge thing.
That food really plays a big role in it.
Tell me a little bit about who your ideal client is, just in a succinct, sort of straightforward answer. Who's your ideal client?
So somebody that's interested in improving their health, adopting a healthier lifestyle. Just like I said, want to be more involved in their own health care, and taking care of the skin and the body.
Okay. And then who's your ideal referral source, or your ideal referral partner?
So people who are in the fitness industry, maybe personal trainers, gym owners, yoga teachers, massage therapists, and people like that. They're involved in just health and wellness. Their jobs are related to that, and I have products and programs that can fit into those services that they provide.
Okay, cool. And I'm sure you're big into networking. I know you're a member of AM Spirit Metro West. Congratulations on that. And you'd like to do a lot of networking. So definitely let people know how they can reach out and connect with you.
So best way is through my email. That would be my kimkrumbiegel.arbonne@gmail.com. I have a Facebook page too. I post in that. Right right now. So those are probably the best ways to reach out. My phone number is 774-345-0707. Most available most days and easy to contact me through those ways.
Sure. And so Kim is going to interact with everybody in the Facebook group moving forward. So if you know some gym owners or some people that might be great referral sources for the health and wellness sphere, make sure you're interacting inside the Facebook group and specifically on this live show post, and reach out to Kim. We'll bring her back on a little bit later in the show. As you know, you can probably see that, we live in a world of technology, right? And so not always is everything going to be streamlined and perfect. We do the best we can, and everybody does the best we can. And so we want to make sure that you can actually spend some time with Kim and connect with her on the Facebook chat, right? In the comments area of the live show. Let her know that you want to do a one-to-one, and you guys can set up a time to do a video conference. We firmly believe in trying to take the time and set up what we call one-to-ones. In the world of networking, that's what it's called. But it's really just generally like a 30-minute chat, sometimes in person, sometimes over video, and sometimes over a phone, where you can get to learn a lot more about somebody else that kind of extends deeper into the relationship and kind of gets the relationship started in the snowball effect. Maybe there's something there, maybe there isn't, maybe there's some partners you can get connected to, introductions, people on LinkedIn, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of how this process works. And so, as a reminder, I definitely want to thank you guys for being a member of our Facebook group and appreciate you watching these shows, commenting. I saw already a comment from Judy Galek. She was on our networking session this morning. She's always involved in the Facebook group, and we greatly appreciate that, Judy. Thank you so much for that. Popping back on here, we're going to jump into a quick interview with Lisa Casillo. Hey, welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning.
So tell everybody what it is you do, Lisa.
So I am a financial advisor with Edward Jones. I help people build their wealth, maintain, and then oftentimes pass it on to the next generation.
That's good, except apparently my parents forgot to do the first part. So I suffer from the second part, which is the pass it on to the next generation thing.
There you go. So they would have needed help with that to preserve it so there's something to go to the next generation.
Yeah, but they probably just divided
it
up unequally after a divorce and it was all said and done. You know how that goes. So that's why you need a financial advisor, people. So Lisa, if you haven't heard me say it before, I can walk to the end of my driveway and trip over a realtor, a financial advisor, and a mortgage professional. So why are you different?
Very good question. Actually, most of us, it's the personalities that are a little bit different, and we specialize in different things. So I specialize in individuals in transition. So oftentimes someone going through a divorce, someone selling a business, somebody who has moved, changed jobs. And that's kind of what we focus on, because here at our office in Worcester, we focus on hand-holding clients through situations like that. Because oftentimes clients don't know what am I supposed to be doing? What's the next step? So that's something that we specialize in here, because I like that. I'm very much a micromanager for my clients to help them through those type of things. I know this isn't what they're thinking about all day, every day, but it is what I think about all day, every day. So for my clients, that's why they would pick me. And we all have different things that we focus on and that we really enjoy working with clients.
That's cool. So definitely hand holding with gloves and sanitizer. We greatly appreciate that. So that's basically who your ideal client is, right? You pretty much described that, those in transition. Tell me a little bit about who your ideal partner might be, referral source, center of influence.
So that's interesting that you were saying, there's so many different type of realtor people or insurance people. And those are the people that actually refer to us. So real estate agents, if someone's moving, someone sold their house, divorce attorneys, if someone's going through a divorce, estate attorneys, CPAs, those are all big referrals for us. So our corporate bankers, mortgage loaners, those type of people, because people are in the middle of transition during those times.
Right. That's a good point. And look at this. Your good friend Suzanne Longone throws in there. Great advisor does a great job helping people with reluctant husbands.
Yes. I have specialized in that inadvertently over the years.
That's a good one. Oh, Suzanne, you are funny. Okay. Tell me a little bit about what you like about networking.
Actually, when I first started with my business 11 years ago, I didn't like networking at all because so many people are bad at it. And they could be very off-putting and not really nice when they realize, when I would say I'm a financial advisor, they would say to me, oh, I already have one of those. Well, my thought was, I didn't ask you for your business and we might not be a good fit, but okay. So then I learned kind of over the years that when someone would say that to me, how to approach it. And basically I started saying, I'm not here to break up any marriages. I'm just out meeting people and getting to know people. And then I started learning about how getting people in my network really helps me with my own clients because I can refer those people out to other people. So I love to network now because of that. And it's helped me in so many different aspects as to how can I help a client who needs help in something that has absolutely nothing to do with me, but it gives them peace of mind. So I do a lot of networking because of that. I actually started a radio show called Connecting Worcester Style, which is basically what I'm doing is connecting different businesses and people in the community and nonprofits and things like that.
I didn't even know you had a radio show until I got mentioned on your radio show.
Yes.
I was watching the video that Doug shared, and Melody Beach was on the same show.
Yeah.
And I saw them share it on Facebook, and I literally just ran in, saw it on my feed, and I saw them on there and I know them. And so I'm just like, okay, I'll watch this. And then all of a sudden they start talking about me and I'm like, okay. Like that, I guess I'm doing something right when other people are talking about me in a good way when I'm not in the room, right?
Yeah. And it is kind of strange because I was coming out of Starbucks one time and somebody pointed to me, and I mean, like, my show's like this big, it's local in Worcester. And someone said, aren't you on that radio show? I saw you on Facebook. And I'm like, I guess so. I'm thinking, who's watching it? But they had seen it through somebody else's Facebook page. Yeah. So it was interesting.
I always love to say, oh yeah, that's right. You're the second listener.
Yes.
Yeah, good fun. What do you not like about networking, Lisa?
The time that it takes. It does take a lot of time. And pre-COVID, before we were doing all the Zoom, I found that I started putting on a lot of weight from constantly being out every night and eating bad. So when we went into the COVID situation, I actually lost 10 pounds because I wasn't running to all of these different events anymore.
You know something? It's funny you say that because I have a bad addiction with Dunkin' Donuts. Like every morning, Dunkin' Donuts, no matter where I am. And when I would go to networking events, I would get a coffee on my way there. I'd probably have something there, whatever munchies they had passing, maybe a beverage, and then I'd get a coffee on the way home. And I was spending a lot of money. And the whole financial advisor analysis of the cup of coffee a day thing that we heard for many years, but not only that, it's obvious to me that it was just a comfort thing or something, because it was just like, oh, this is what I'll do in my truck when I'm driving an hour to a networking event,
If you're putting cream in your coffee every time, that's a lot of calories.
Yeah. No, so the issue for me is Dunkin' Donuts coffee is not the problem. I drink the coffee for the cream. Right. Yeah. I like coffee with my cream.
Right. Yeah. Can I have
it's like I tell people, Scherrie Keating's coming on next. She's going to die when I tell her this. Or maybe I should have waited. No. I like to chew my iced tea.
What, you put a lot of salt or a lot of
sugar? Yeah. Granulated sugar in the bottom of it. Yeah. Yeah, that's what makes it the best. And I'm actually super happy if I throw the cup away with a whole bunch of sugar in the bottom of it. That's fine. But I like to I tell them, don't put liquid sugar in there. I like to chew it.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of sugar. That is a lot of sugar. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't end up eating it at the end of the day. It ends up in the bottom of the barrel. But yeah, those things, you catch on to those things when COVID comes around, right? And so you notice the time it takes. I mean, there's something I love about the energy of a room, though, that you don't necessarily get on Zoom. And so I do miss that. But at the end of the day, our hope here is in Mass Business Connections is that we can augment, right? We can do online stuff. And then when it's safe to do so, open up and do these big events. And that's what I'm really hoping. Right now, we've got over 1,100 people in this group. And we're trying to really hit our goal of doubling that and get to 2,500. And then can you imagine the in-person networking events we're going to have when we have 2,500 people just in this Facebook group and they're all from Massachusetts?
See, I think that too is sometimes when like the chamber would have the mega events, sometimes they would be too big, too overwhelming. So I am excited to get back to it. And it is interesting. Sometimes those mega ones that are big, like the one you're talking about, people will come to that with who would not necessarily come to the smaller ones.
That's right. And the funny thing is it's like Facebook. You're only going to get 5% anyway.
Yeah.
Of the people that say they're coming to actually come. Right. Yeah. So it's kind of like you put the best post up on Facebook ever, and then you get like hardly any likes, and you're looking at you like, what's going on with that?
You're like, what the heck? Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. Or you post up there and you think that it just is very generic, and then people are like, is everything okay? You're like, it was just a thought.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thought, Yeah. So let people know how they can reach out to you and do some networking with you.
Yeah. So they can go and send me an email to lisa.casillo@edwardjones.com, or they can give me a call at 508-854-1608.
All right. Awesome. We'll have Lisa back on, and she's going to interact in the comments. So if you want to connect and you want to be a business partner of Lisa's, you need more financial advisors in your centers of influence, then reach out to Lisa and start building that relationship. Like she said, the worst part about all this stuff sometimes is it takes time. And but if you know that in advance, when you first start the process, you're not going to expect results immediately. And the one thing I tell people all the time is if you continue to do these things when your business is great, then people will be there for you when your business is not so great. So had you been doing this in advance of COVID for a really long time, like I have been, even when I sold my agency in 2018, I immediately started doing networking and getting out there. And I knew it was going to take 6, 12, 18 months. And then we hit COVID close to almost like 20 months into the process of me having sold my agency. And I had a network. I had a strong network that I could rely on and continue to connect with. And that's the power of it all. So, definitely. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you join us in our Mass Networking group. Here's the Facebook URL. It's facebook.com/group/Mass Networking. We'd love to have you be in here. We just want to make sure that you are based in Massachusetts so that when we are doing live events, you can attend. And also we are focused on trying to keep the business local. There's nothing wrong with doing business abroad or doing it with a bunch of other people in other states. That's all okay. But we want to have an intentional focus on Massachusetts right now too. So as we bring in Scherrie Keating, we want to make sure that, like Lisa said, we're going to do some hand holding with gloves and sanitizer. Hey, Scherrie, how you doing?
Hey, Matt, I'm listening to you. The last networking event that we were on together, you were talking about cheesecake, and now you're talking about sugar. I think you're my ideal client.
Well, no. See, ideal clients are those ready, willing, and able to buy. That's how I define a referral. I'm none of those three.
Well, we'll work on you.
Who is your ideal client?
Well, first of all, I own diabetes.
Well, wait. Before we go any farther, what do you do before we get into the ideal client? Let me ask you that question first.
Okay, so I'm a registered nurse and I specialize in diabetes. I actually worked 37 years in the diabetes field and in the heart disease field. So I actually am a keynote motivational educational speaker who helps people turn education into action to prevent type 2 diabetes for life. So I actually founded Diabetes Care Consulting, Care with a K, 4 years ago. And I had an aha moment. I saw an iceberg. At the tip of the iceberg, there were 30 million people that had diabetes. But under the tip of the iceberg, there were 84 million more that had pre-diabetes. And 90% have no idea. And I had an aha moment that if I, in the field of diabetes for 33 years at the time, didn't know that we could prevent diabetes, how many people out there who didn't have my experience and expertise didn't know either. So I decided to start a company and increase awareness, offer screening and prevention education.
Gotcha. So in your world of an ideal client, who would that be?
So I offer educational classes. So I have pre-COVID, I was a speaker in person. And since COVID, I started an online school, and I offer continuing ed credits for nurses and social workers and case managers, nurse practitioners, and corporate wellness. So my ideal client would be marketing directors or sales directors of any of the senior living communities. So assisted living, independent living, long-term care facilities, hospitals, actually any individual at risk for pre-diabetes. So we have 88 million. So I have a lot of ideal clients, actually referral sources. So any family members or any person who's worried that they're going to get diabetes, I could take a survey of everyone who's listening today, and I could say, do you know someone with diabetes? And every single person, I'm sure, would say yes. So there are a lot of people out there that have pre-diabetes. And so, you know, anyone who's overweight, anybody who is over 45, anyone who may have a little high blood pressure, elevated cholesterol, who may have heart disease, who had diabetes in pregnancy, is sedentary, those are the people that need to talk to me.
But and to dig a little bit deeper on that, the one thing you said that resonated was worried about it.
Yes.
They have to have a desire to
Yes.
learn more about it or to fix it. Otherwise, you're just chasing a cow around a pasture that's of no value to you. So people are going to have to either be listening for somebody who's concerned about it, or be in a conversation with somebody talking about diabetes as a whole, and they need to be concerned about it. Because whether or not you think they should be concerned about it is irrelevant to the situation. Again, we're back talking to me. You think I should be? I'm not concerned. It is what it is. That said,
it's so funny, Matt, that you say that, though, but you should be concerned, and that's what I want to try to get across to people, because the complications that you can prevent, type 2 diabetes is preventable by 2 simple little lifestyle changes, and it's not hard. So even losing 7% of your body weight, 7%, Matt, by doing 2 simple things can lower your risk up to 71%. Like, that is huge. Why would you not want to be interested? That's what I'm curious about.
We can dig into that in a very long conversation. Like, look, it's the same. There's a lot of people that smoke that know it's bad, and they have no intention of stopping, right? Because they're like, okay, I can elongate. Like, I'm not going to fight that battle. I don't think they should do that either. And a lot of people don't even think I should eat chocolate and drink Dunkin' Donuts every day. But at the end of the day, it's not, the trade-off for me is not there. And until I get to the point where it's a concern in my own brain,
right,
then it matters, right? So we don't buy wills, estates, and trusts until we're like, oh, wait, now what? You know? And so we don't buy life insurance until we see somebody else die that doesn't have life insurance.
Right.
Leave people behind, right? So they got to have that conversation. Now, talk about the referral partners. Who are the people that refer your ideal clients who have those conversations consistently on a regular basis?
Anyone in the senior living industry, because seniors are very high risk, and seniors have diabetes. So I work with people at risk for diabetes and people that live with type 2 diabetes. So anyone in the senior living industry would be a great referral partner. Corporations who have a corporate wellness program, that they want their employees to stay healthy so that they're not losing work, and so getting their employees more healthy. Any community organization that wants to provide healthy living education to community members. Schools. There's a huge problem with kids and diabetes, and this remote school is only going to make the problem worse. 1 in 4, 1 in 5 young adults and adolescents now have pre-diabetes, elevated cholesterol, and blood pressure. So we need to reach those kids and help them to learn, and their parents to learn how they can incorporate some simple changes to lower their risk significantly. So
yeah. Now, you've been on a number of our networking calls and active in the community here. So tell me a little bit about what you like about networking.
Well, networking is how I've grown my business. I started my business 4 years ago last week, and I joined the chamber, the North Central Chamber, and I went to a sales and leads meeting, and I sat next to someone who heard my story, and they gave me my first speaking opportunity. So networking is how I have built my business, word of mouth. I've spent $0 on marketing, and I love networking. I love to get to know people. I love to provide education. I'm a social person. This COVID is killing me. Being home in my home office every day is not good for my mental health. So I have to make sure I'm exercising every day to do all the things to stay healthy mentally, because I'm a people person. So I love networking. I've been going on a lot of virtual networking events, and just to see people and to hear their stories. I had terminal cancer. I had 6 months to live, and I can tell you that I'm 12 years in remission as of last week. And I can tell you that a patient once said this to me, and I love this: your health is your best wealth. And that is so true, because you can have everything in the world, but if you don't have your health, you really have nothing. So I really love to share education, and I love to meet people. I love to hear the why behind what they're doing. I'm all about the why. And so networking provides that opportunity.
On the flip side of that, what do you not like about it?
I agree with the other, was it Lisa? Who was just Lisa and
Kim?
Lisa and Kim. I agree. Networking prior to COVID, I was spending 10, 12 hours a day going from one networking event to the next networking event to the next evening networking event. So I spent a lot of time in the car. And so it was very time consuming. I spent all I did was network, and I love it. But, I didn't have a lot of time to do the other work. I'm a solo entrepreneur. I didn't have a lot of time to do my other work. So for me, it was difficult. Being at home, it's better, but I still spend a lot of sedentary time sitting in front of a computer, networking to grow my business and getting to know people and to develop relationships. So I love networking to develop relationships, hear about people's why, but it is very time consuming. I do agree with the other.
Yeah, it takes a lot of effort.
It does.
I mean, back before COVID hit, I had a $600 a month gas budget for my truck, and I would use it every single month going to all these networking events. When I parked the truck on March 15th, I didn't refill my tank for 45 days.
Wow.
And when I did, it was only $46, $47.
That's so funny you said that, because I was doing so much networking, and I had a Honda CRV. In November of last year, I actually got a new car that was better on gas mileage, because I was doing the same thing. And then COVID hit in March. So now I had this Honda CRV, and then I bought this other more, I bought a Toyota Corolla, smaller car that wasn't as much on gas, and then COVID hit. And so I could have kept my Honda CRV.
All right, what's your contact information so people can reach out to you?
All right, so it is Diabetes Care with the K Consulting.com, and you can go on my website and go onto the connect page, and then there's different options of how you want to connect with me. Also, you can reach me by email, diabetescare with a K consulting @gmail.com, or by phone 508-864-5142.
All right, cool. And Scherrie's going to be in the comments on Facebook as well, interacting with you guys there. So if you got questions, if you know people in the senior care world that can help her connect with other people in the healthcare world, that would be good. Again, we focus primarily, our referral efforts are focused on partners and centers of influence, because as I wrote in my book, if you haven't read my book, go find it somewhere. I'm not going to pitch that, but as I wrote in my book, clients give you 1 to 3 referrals over a lifetime, but referral sources give you 1 to 3 a year. And so you should always, when you have the choice, you should always take care of your clients, but you should always put your time and effort and focus into your referral sources, So bringing back on the tri-lady panel. We're not calling it a manel, we're calling it a lanel today for the ladies panel. Thanks for coming on the show. I greatly appreciate it. You guys were awesome. Make sure you interact in the Facebook group. Guys who are watching this, we really appreciate your comments and your continuation of interactivity in the Facebook group. And make sure you reach out to these awesome ladies about what they do and try to connect them with just one person. If you can just make a connection with them with just one person, it will help their business. And trust me when I tell you this, it will help your business for giving the introduction out. So as I always say at the end of every video I ever do, don't forget to live happy, smile a lot, and high five everyone around you.